All right, so Branden Munoz, you're a two-time city champion, made the finals of Maris Cup this year. Talk about your first time winning cities.
Well, the thing was, the first time winning cities was actually a forfeit. This was my only actual year winning it. Last year, what happened was, it was the girl from RKA. She had broke her collarbone in the semis of Mayor's Cup. So, and she was gonna be the only person I would have had to wrestle to qualify for state last year. But since she broke her collarbone then, she wasn't able to wrestle, so I just had the forfeit in the state. This year, I had to wrestle. Like I didn't get to wrestle her because this kid from Eagle beat her, and I beat the kid in the finals, and then I qualified for state again.
All right, so do you remember like last year being in Albany? I think that might have been that was the first like time we went back to Albany. Do you remember like how it felt and stuff?
I didn't actually go last year.
Oh, how come?
I had some family problems to deal with.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So then now this year you finally get to go,
hmm
and like how was the atmosphere and things like that?
It was cool. I definitely think that last year I probably would have, got my ass kicked because this year I had some like really close matches, and like this year I was way better than I was last year. All I did last year was just a headlock, and I don't think I would have gotten a win at state by just doing a headlock.
Yeah, probably not. So
hmm
did you get your hand raised at all this year at States?
I had two close matches, but I didn't get my hand raised. It was also they were really really close too. The first match I lost 4-2, uh, and I gave up a takedown because like it was my first time at the state tournament, so like I wasn't like prepared to wrestle a state match, so I kind of gave up a takedown, but then like got the momentum up, and then I let him up because I was riding him on top, but I just couldn't turn him, so I got another takedown, so it was 3-2. Third period, he chose bottom. I couldn't turn him to get any more points, so I just let him up, and then he stalled the rest of the period.
Yeah, he was playing the game.
hmm
So,
The second match was better. I had a takedown in the first, and then in the second, I deferred. It was his choice. He chose bottom. He got escape, and then he got a takedown, but like it wasn't really a takedown. I still had his leg, but the ref called it, and I was like, damn. It was 3-2 going into the last period. I chose bottom. I got a reversal, so now I'm up 4-3. And with 9 seconds left, I fucked up completely. He rolled out and then got the reversal, and ended up on my back when he rolled out, so I lost off of that.
gotcha.
It was
So
really
it was really what?
it was really frustrating. I couldn't believe that I let that happen.
And you said Ola got mad, right?
Yeah, all I was mad at me because he was like, with 9 seconds left, you should have just like held him down and not try to like turn him or whatnot. And that's what I was actually trying to do. I was like trying to like get an arm in, try to like turn him to the side and just keep him down. When really I should have just like uh had a leg in and just stayed there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you made it to the States like pretty young. There's
hmm
guys in the PSAL that usually don't get to States until like senior year or something. So
Yeah.
now I wrestled Division 1 in high school. I went to MLK, so the competition level is different. D1 and D2 drastically different. I mean,
Yeah.
Division 2 only has two good teams. I'll just say it. So how do you like? Do you recognize that at all?
Yeah, definitely. Um like for D2, the schools that go is Eagle, us, Petrides, you got Baruch, RFK, Inwood Academy, like all these schools I've never even heard of. And RK, like Eagle had a majority of guys qualify for state. They had 7 guys qualify. Petrides, we had 3. RK, I think, had like 2, and then there was one kid from Inwood that qualified. But um, only people from Eagle won matches. Everyone else didn't.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. Even when I was in high school, it's always been like that.
Hmm.
Trees and eagle.
Yeah.
Do you think that the PSAL should change that? There should be something like maybe they should put everybody in one tournament or something because that's usually how the upstate guys do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know there's two state tournaments, D1 and D2, but they would usually have like some of the sections up there, they would have like one sectional tournament
Hmm.
sometimes. I never
Well, I
heard of
know
like,
that. No, you go ahead.
yeah, I never really, because I know a bunch of people up there. I never really saw a D2 sectionals or a D1 sectionals. It would just be section four, section five, or whatever. And then whatever like the allocations are, they would divide it based on that. They wouldn't really have,
Hmm.
and there's
Well,
something up.
I
Oh,
think that
say,
some D2 guys would have probably qualified for D1. Not everyone. I'm not saying like everyone in D2 would do it, but like I definitely think there were
right.
some guys. Like I saw the D1 bracket, and like I knew all those kids, or a majority of those kids, and I was like, I would probably would have made it to the semis or the finals.
Maybe, maybe so.
For
And it's
Go
also
ahead.
the weight classes as well. Like usually the lighter weight classes wouldn't be very stacked. Like I'm pretty sure Tristan didn't have a tough time winning states at the D1 side.
Hmm.
And it's
So
somebody that say what you're saying?
you think Tristan didn't have a tough time with the city tournament? Is that what you said?
No, no. At cities, he didn't have a tough time winning cities.
Yeah, no. The kid in the finals was some kid from Jamaica, and like Tristan like picked him up and stacked him. That's right, and then that's why he won.
Yeah. And for those listening, that's not Jamaica, the country. That's Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, yeah.
So those of you that are not from New York City, there's a place called Jamaica in Queens. And yes, it is inhabited by a lot of Jamaican people. That's just how that happened. But yeah, like Tristan was levels above everybody. And that's usually how the lighter weight classes would go. But the thing is with the weight classes is they changed it. So I remember like after I graduated high school, they took away 99 pounds because New
Yep.
York is the only state that had 99. So every time the guys would go to Fargo or go somewhere else,
They'd
they would
go
have
up.
to bump up. And sometimes it wouldn't matter, but sometimes it would because there's like a strength curve and stuff. So talk about how like the guys felt when you wrestled them at states.
Um, so like at state, there was a lot of guys at like 102 that noticeably were like pretty tall and pretty frail compared to the guys in the city. Like a lot of some 102s in the city, they were like, pretty short, pretty fast and whatnot. Like they had some they didn't look like they would have to cut a lot of weight. They looked like they were just that naturally. Well, guys at 102 in the state tournament were all like looked like they probably would have been like 110, 118 going down to 102.
Yeah, that's a lot of how they do it. It's kind of in their mind, it's part of the culture of wrestling to be cutting a bunch of weight and stuff. And it's different up there because the competition levels are higher. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe people are more concerned with what weight they're going, stuff like that. In the city, it's a lot different. The competition level isn't. It's never really been crazy high, right?
Hmm.
But I mean, you can definitely get up to that point. But like, what are your views on the fact that they would be coming down from like 118 and 120 to go all the way down there at a chance to win a state title?
Um, I think some guys that cut weight, it's whatever. And I don't think it really matters about like how big the guy is. It matters about like how good you are. Like I was like 100 pounds in the season. And I was able to roll around with a couple of heavier guys on my team. So like it does. I don't think like the size difference would matter that much. You'd be at a sort of a disadvantage, but like if you know what to do, you could work your way around it.
Yeah, that's right. Skills pay the bills. Something some coaches like to say. Now,
Sadly,
speaking of that, yeah. Now, speaking of that, you actually didn't start wrestling until high school, but you've been a judo guy for a while. Talk a bit about that.
Yeah, so I started doing judo when I was like 3 or 4, and been doing it ever since. But like once COVID hit, I wasn't able to do it. So going back to it, I was a little rusty, and then I was doing wrestling. So I put judo on hold and just did wrestling because like that was what I was mainly doing most of the time. I'd go to school and then rest and practice right after school, and then go home and do whatever, eat dinner, do homework. So I think judo helped me out because like uh it helped me stay like competitive with the sport. Like you go out there, it's a match, you got to be in the gate and you got to be in the right mindset. So like knowing that from judo going into wrestling, I knew like the mindset would probably be around the same. Just thing was just getting adjusted to the rules. Like in judo, you got everyone's standing straight up and like trying to grab onto something. In wrestling, like you're all hunched over, staying low to the floor. So like that was something I had to get used to.
Yeah, exactly. And going back to the different divisions in the state. So I'm looking at Section Five's sectional championships, how they did it this year. So it is separated, but because they have more wrestlers up there in those spots for Section Five, they actually have three classes. Class,
Three.
yeah, Class A, Class. No, actually, no, no. So for Division One, they have Class A and Class A2. For Division Two, they have Class B1, B2, and B3. And in Division Two, there's actually way more teams than Division One. So that's like the opposite of what
Weird.
we have here.
It's really weird.
But yeah, but looking at some of these teams, sometimes the Division Two guys are just as good, if not better, than Division One guys. I'll tell you something you probably don't know. Kyle Dake, you heard of him?
Yeah, I know. He wrestled at a D2 school.
He was it, yeah. So up there and then Long Island, the whole D1, D2 thing doesn't matter. There's a there was a D2 kid from Section Five. He wrestled at Hornia Falls. His name's Nick Noto, and he has brothers and all that. But he wrestled Section Five, so that's where Yanni wrestled at. And he was a Division Two guy. Yeah, but he was Division Two though. Yanni was Division One, and he was a four-time state champ.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's been wrestling Division One in college. He was at NC State, and then he transferred to Lock Haven.
Where's that at?
So Lock Haven, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah. So you know, up there and on Long Island, the whole D1, D2 thing, it really doesn't matter all that much. Sometimes the D2 guys are right up there, if not better, than some of
Um,
the D1 guys.
in my opinion, right? Like it doesn't matter what kind of school you go to. It just matters about how much work you put into it. If you put
Yeah,
like enough work into it, you can make up a lot of space between like you and somebody that's doing it for a while, or
yeah,
you and somebody that's like has some of the best coaches or whatnot. But if you work harder than they are, then you'll probably be better than they are as well.
yeah. But I think that just comes to having a good environment. Like, I'll just say it right now. If I lived in Staten Island and I went to Petrides,
Hmm.
I think like from 2014 to 2018 would be a completely different. I would have a completely different wrestling career. I'll just say
Hmm.
that. I know probably might sound one way or another, but and I know Ola real well. But if I like wrestled under him, for example, yeah, I definitely would have had a much more fruitful wrestling career in high school. A lot of things would be different.
He's a nice coach. He's a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, and he's a good guy. Definitely
Hmm.
is. I remember one time my team in high school was with Petrides. We were on Long Island, and I forgot my singlet. So Ola, yeah. So Ola told no, my coach wasn't like that. He wasn't gonna like kill you over forgetting something. Like it rarely would happen. But Ola told one of the teammates to let me borrow his shorts, so I did.
Hmm.
It was actually a much bigger wrestler, but still,
Do you know who it was?
I don't know if you would know Sean Gillespie.
Never mind.
Oh yeah, you never, yeah. But so he was my age. He graduated with me. He won Mayor's Cup, and I think he won cities too. Oh yeah, he won cities a bunch of times.
Well, if you won Mayor's Cup, you're probably like guaranteed to win the city tournament.
It's not always like that. There's alumni that have won Mayor's Cup and didn't win cities.
Like who?
I don't think I want to. I don't want to name them or anything. They might not like that, but there's definitely alumni that were Mayor's Cup champs, and it's before I start wrestling. They've like won Mayor's Cup and they wouldn't win cities. You know, like there's uh Catholic school wrestlers like Farrell, whatever. Sometimes they will win Mayor's Cup.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is different. Yeah. You see it. There was a guy from Staten Island in 2019. He was a returning All American too, and he won Mayor's Cup. But then when he wrestled at Cities, he lost to a former teammate of mine, Adam MK, in the finals.
Wow.
So yeah, but then he wound up making the state finals after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that just shows you that winning Mayor's Cup or doing well at Mayor's doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna win cities. Like yeah, 'cause it's a little different. Like I placed that Mayor's Cup back then, but I didn't place at Cities.
Would you place at Mayor's?
8th.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess it's still looking
Weight
at
class.
all. Weight class 132.
32.
Yeah.
All 4 years? Did you wrestle that all 4 years, or did you just like
No, I was 120. Then I went back and forth from 120 to 126 sophomore year. Then junior and senior year I was 132. But what I would do for freestyle is I would cut, not like on purpose or anything. Just I just felt better, be lighter. Your muscles look a little better and stuff. But I mean, it just I felt good being a little lighter. So I would wrestle like 126 one time. Yeah, I had to weigh in at 129, odd number. Yeah.
I remember for the freestyle tournament upstate, I wrestled 102 like individually. Like for myself, I wrestled 102, but like for some dude mates, I went up to 110. When freestyle states came around, I was pretty much around 110, and I was gonna go down to 106 to wrestle because at 113 I was like, because I started off the season like really weighing like 106, so I was like, I bet I could probably just like cut the 6 pounds, just go 106.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Now talk a little bit about like the freestyle state tournament and the Greco state tournament that you went to this year.
I think the freestyle tournament was definitely a lot harder because I had like a bunch of harder guys in the freestyle state bracket. Like I had some guys that from section 8 that wrestled with like Dunya all the time that in my bracket. There were some kids from PSAL that went by. I had one kid in my bracket. He was from Farrell. I think he placed. I don't know if he did or not. I think he won his first match and then lost to the guy that ended up winning the freestyle bracket. Greco, I had like one dude from my freestyle bracket who went 0-2 and probably I think he got like pinned or tagged or whatnot. And like I pinned him in like the first minute. So that was an easy way to win the Greco tournament. Freestyle was definitely a lot harder. There wasn't a lot of people who were doing Greco.
Yeah, that's usually like that, but for two reasons though. Number one, a lot of them just don't like it. But the other reason is a lot of them will go to like Northeast regionals.
Yeah, that was like
So
not too long after.
yeah, so there's probably a bunch of guys that you could have possibly seen, but you just didn't because they went to Northeast regionals. So like once you said you weren't able to go to Fargo this year.
Yeah.
And I get it, yeah. It's different now how they're doing things. But if you would have went, you would have saw like a bunch of guys with New York gear on. You like, wait, who's this guy? Who's that guy? But I've heard from people that went to the training camps and things like that. And when you get up there, they make you practice too. And it just sounds like so much fun. It really does. Like you get to practice with a bunch of guys that you would never be able to have practice with before. I mean, you probably get driven places, but you're probably not going to go to those places all the time. I don't know if you would or wouldn't, but you get to practice with guys from North Dakota, where it is, or you get to practice with guys from like way upstate or on Long Island and stuff like that. that you would normally never get to scrap with. You could probably
Yeah.
even, yeah, you could probably even like roll around with guys from other states if they're not in your weight class. Like I would always do that if I was at a tournament like that and I saw guys from other states and stuff. If they're not my weight class, I would definitely roll around with them and stuff. So Fargo, just the whole thing, just sounds like a real cool experience. And if you win freestyle and Greco again, next year, then you should at least try to go.
We definitely consider it. I didn't want to do Fargo this year because the Greco State tournament was like my first ever Greco tournament ever. So like, um, and like the guy wasn't really that good. So I was like, if I had more tournaments under my belt and I really knew how to wrestle Greco like better, then I'd probably been like, okay, I'm probably ready for Greco for Fargo. But like that was my first ever one, and I didn't really like get to see how well I could have done with like someone that's been doing Greco for longer. So I didn't like feel confident in going.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now you talked about a funny story before that happened at Freestyle States with Jason Gonzalez, who
Oh
I
yeah.
interviewed in the last episode. Talk about that.
So it was it was me, Jason, a couple of teammates of mine, Aldo and Anthony. There's also this other kid, Marco. We all had just a total blast up in state because the hotel we were staying at wasn't really the best hotel, but like we all stayed in the room. We were just goofing around in the room and like going around, like checking out other places, which was like so much fun.
But talk about the burger.
Oh right, the burger thing. So there was this place called Fat Patty's, not too far away from the hotel, and Jason had got this burger called the El Diablo. It was a hellfire rubbed patty, breaded jalapenos, pepper jack cheese, and Inferno mayo, and like the waitress was like, "Are you sure you want to order that? It's really spicy." And he was like, "Yeah, sure." Like regretting it totally. He finished the burger, but you could tell like that was really hot because he was like with his mouth open, like, holy shit. Me and Ola had the same burger, and I had cut like 6 pounds the rest of the tournament. So like I was super hungry and like ate my burger, and like I was the first one to finish my food, and I was the lightest guy there. Um, and Ola was like, he told Jason, if you have any balls, you'll take some of the fries, put it in the sauce, and eat it. And he was like, I think I'm good. It was so much fun.
Well, I like spicy food, so I would have ordered that like with full confidence, and you would have
Nah,
saw me eating that thing.
dude, that was fucking hot. It was really. He went to the bathroom right after
Right.
he finished the burger. So like, I took one of my fries and put it in the sauce, and I ate. I tried some of the sauce, and I was like, damn, I don't know how we did that.
Nah, I'm big on spicy food. I wouldn't have been too bothered by that. I've had Nashville hot chicken before. They have a spot in Manhattan.
It's Manhattan.
Yeah, I got the second hottest one because you got to build yourself up. You can't just.
Yeah.
So I got the second hottest one the last time I went. It's definitely a deal. Like,
Hmm.
but that's me though. Maybe he's not a spicy food guy. Maybe he doesn't eat that stuff often.
Nah, he's kind of a bitch when it comes to spicy stuff.
Really? uh, Dang,
Yeah, I
that's
don't know why
crazy.
he got that. He can't handle the spice.
Probably saw it and looked cool. I actually have a similar story to that. At Freestyle States, my sophomore year, I won a couple times. But my sophomore year, everybody was sitting we're at some Chinese buffet, some Asian buffet, and then
Hmm.
they're all sitting there. And someone said from Eagle, he was like, "I'll give you $40 if you eat the spoonful of wasabi." I get up, I go over there, I take the spoon. I'm like sitting there like waiting, and like, have you ever met Coach Penn?
From where?
Eat the streets.
Yeah, I probably have.
Yeah. So he's like right in front of me, and the long tables and stuff. Everybody else is like, you know,
Hmm.
but like I see Penn, and he's just laughing and stuff. He's trying to like look away because he doesn't want to be a witness to this. And then like I ate like I put the spoon in my mouth, and I took out like half of it, or maybe like 75% of it or something, and then I couldn't swallow it.
Yeah, it's
And
hot.
then someone gave me water. Now, neither of us were smart at that moment because water's not what's supposed to have. It's supposed to eat ice cream. We didn't know that. And then I drank it and it went down and all that. And my stomach was just,
A bit of a shot.
I
Yeah.
was done. I had to swallow it though, because if I left it in my mouth, that would have been, I think, worse. So I just swallowed it. Yeah, but my stomach was shot.
After the burgers, because the burgers were really big.
Mm.
Like you could probably like stack your hands up, and that's how probably big the burger was. Like it was a really big burger. Everyone except for Anthony. Anthony didn't want a burger. He ordered like chicken wings or something.
But who paid
And
for this?
I was Ola, Jason's dad, and Marco's dad that like split the meal. Split the bill. But like everyone the next day like had to use the bathroom a lot the whole day because they were really big burgers.
They never had a Sunday dinner. They
Um,
probably don't eat big on Thanksgiving. That's probably what I have.
it was like it was a big burger and there was a lot of fries too. And like I
Yeah,
had the fries to go because
because you gotta finish
um
it.
yeah, I couldn't finish the fries. And then after the freestyle tournament was Saturday, and after the freestyle tournament, that's when we had the burgers. So Sunday was the
Oh,
Greco. So Sunday was the Greco tournament, and it was also the women's freestyle tournament. So I wrestled a Greco match with a fucked up stomach from the burger the night before. And I had when we left after the Greco tournament, I forgot my fries in the hotel.
good that you did that.
Nah, I was mad, bro. Like the fries are actually really good.
All right, so yeah, that was not did all that. I thought you did that like when the tournament ended. I didn't know you did that in between two
Yeah,
tournaments.
we left Friday, and then the freestyle tournament. We had to weigh in on Friday, and the freestyle
Yeah,
tournament was Saturday, and the Greco tournament was Sunday.
yeah, that's how it always was. How do you feel about weighing in the night before, like a MMA fight?
I was fine. I was worried that like I would have to weigh in for. I knew the weigh-ins were Friday, and I knew the Friday weigh-ins were for freestyle, but I thought that we would also have to weigh in for Greco. So when I found out that the weigh-ins kind of for both, I was like, I was pretty happy because I was like, all right, cool, I could, eat whatever.
I would eat like just salad or something.
Well, like, I cut 6 pounds, so I was like hella hungry.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that would usually happen to me. Like I remember last time I was at Freestyle States, I was supposed to weigh in at like around 132.
Hmm.
Or oh no, actually no, because they gave us like a weird pound allowance and stuff like that. I don't know if they still do it like that. So they, I guess I was supposed to weigh in like 135, and then I weighed in at like 130.
Wow.
I didn't really try. What I would do is on my way to those big tournaments, I wouldn't eat anything. I
Yeah.
just wouldn't eat. Yeah, just to be safe, and I would be like under. I still wrestled pretty well. Like I placed in Greco and stuff, but I didn't want to take a chance of having to like cut weight and stuff like that when I got there.
Hmm.
Because once you get there, it depends on when you get there. You know, we're coming from all the way down here, so
Yeah.
like
The me getting there was like a hassle.
you went there by yourself, or did you guys take a trip or something?
No, it was me, my friend Marco and his dad that like drove there, and then Jason drove our other teammates, and then all I went by myself.
Jason drives.
No, his dad drove.
Oh, is that and so I was with Beat the Streets, so they would usually take us places because my parents would have a car, and for me personally, it would have been difficult to get a ride somewhere. So it's good that you guys had that.
Hmm.
So it's weighing in the day before. It's always great and stuff, but man, like you ate that much. I mean,
Yeah.
I was hungry, but I wasn't gonna eat that much.
Like before a tournament, what did you eat?
We
Like
would
after?
after weighing in, we would
Yeah.
go to like a Walmart or something like that and just buy a bunch of stuff.
What was something like you would always get?
We always get chips.
Okay.
I know it's junk food, but it's like fast acting. It's quick. It's easy. It has sugar and all that. I know it's not healthy, but it's something to put in your stomach real quick,
Hmm.
and you'll probably like crap it out after. I remember I had gotten pulled pork for some reason. I
Really?
knew I couldn't take it with me, but for obvious reasons. But I got that, so I ate that. But I didn't really buy anything I could take with me. That's the thing. I bought stuff to eat. I didn't buy anything like I remember I had one thing of jerky, but like nowadays I'm smarter about it to know, all right, you gotta get things that you could take with you. The last big tournament I was at War at the Shore last year. And I'd already wrestled at college a bunch of stuff, so I already knew how to do this, traveling, stuff like that. But they were selling stuff there, so I really didn't because you probably saw I don't know if you went, but you saw it, at the boardwalk and all that.
I didn't
It's
go
a
to
bunch
war.
of I know, but like have you ever been in that part of New Jersey?
No,
Like the
I
Jersey
never had a
Shore?
wrestling in New Jersey.
No, but I mean have you been there though? To
Uh,
like
uh
the Jersey Shore.
no.
Yeah. So like it's kind of like Coney Island in a way,
Okay.
but like way bigger and much nicer. So there's like a bunch of stores and restaurants that would be open. Not too many things because it was kind of like off season, but there'd
Hmm.
be enough things open. So I would just get food from those spots and then some stuff I brought back into my motel. And then they were selling stuff at the tournament. So I would just buy stuff at the tournament if I got on. But
Yeah,
that
they
even
were doing
like,
like freestyle states too.
huh?
They were selling food at the freestyle states, but like it was like really overpriced.
Oh yeah, because they're trying to make money for the event. Yeah, yeah, of course. And a lot of times they don't have change and all that. Yeah,
There was also a small kitchen too, and it was a pretty long line.
but I'm not the guy. I don't like bringing home food out to places. Like I'm the only one in my family that's like that. Like I don't like cooking food and then bringing it to places. I don't like to. I
Well, I
like,
wouldn't do it either.
yeah, like I hate doing that. I like buying stuff when just give me money. Like I remember when I was in elementary school, the teachers would ask, "Does everyone have lunch?" And I pull out a bunch of money. Just let me buy stuff.
What would you do for? You would like buy food before tournaments, right?
For if it's like a 1 day thing, I wouldn't. No, not really. Like after I weigh in, I would buy something to eat. I wouldn't like bring anything or anything like that.
Just like I know a lot of guys that would like we used to have like some tournaments at Petrides. Like we had a dual tournament. We had the freshman sophomores, and I think that was about it. Those were the two tournaments we had at Petrides. But like for any tournament for that matter, I'd always stop by like a 7-Eleven and get like an electrolyte and like Reese's Pieces or something like that.
Electrolyte. Oh well, I can't eat Reese's Pieces, but electrolytes. I never thought to do that. I never felt like dehydrated though.
Well,
I
it's
never
like
felt like I was.
I know some people that like they don't like it because it makes your mouth dry like after you drink it. But like what you're supposed to do, and this is why I like it, it refreshes you after the match. Like if you had a tough match, that's when you drink it because like you're really tired and your mouth is dry. Like you drink it, you're fine. You're good to go for the next match.
Yeah, some people drink them after the weigh-ins to try to rehydrate, and they drink Pedialyte. It's like you're not a baby. Why you drink a Pedialyte? They're like 15, 16.
Hmm.
I never had that thought in my mind to get Pedialyte or electrolytes or anything like that. I never felt that bad. Those are for people that would be going into the shower, turning it up all the way with a bunch of clothes on, like hours before they have to weigh in. It's like you shouldn't be
Hmm.
putting yourself through that. But even in high school though, like coach would bring stuff for us to eat, and I would always have money, so try to like remember. It's a while ago, but yeah, I would just buy like buy stuff beforehand and just not eat it. Even like for matches, like where MLK is at. I don't know if you ever even went to that part of Manhattan. It's on the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's on 66th Street, but like from like 60 something street to 70 something street, there's a lot of stores around and stuff. So before like dual meets, I would just hop into like Panera Bread or something, get a sandwich. Back then it was a lot cheaper. And then I would bring it into the where the mats are and all that in the gym. And then after weigh-ins, I'd be munching on it. What I hate, and I want to ask you about this, what I hate is when my teammates bother me when I bring food in, because I would bring in, like one time I brought sushi in there,
That was your
and,
mistake. I would have asked for that too.
wait, what?
I would have been one of your teammates that would have asked for a
Wait,
piece
yeah,
of
should I just, I mean, like, leave me alone. I'm eating. I made weight. I'm eating, but I would have like the, it's expensive now, but like back then, stuff like that was only like $7, $8, so I could afford it with allowance. So it would be like fancy, healthy stuff, but it was good. I see the other ones, they'd be drinking soda, they'd be eating chips. Some of them would forget to bring food and all that. I'm like, look, don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, do not bother me.
It's
Yeah,
not my
like exactly. I remember when I went to Panera Bread, or it wasn't Panera Bread, it was Paris Baguette, whichever one, they're kind of the same thing. I yeah, you're smarter than me for doing that. They would like cut the sandwich in half because it's kind of big. Think about like your laptop, but like a little bit bigger.
Damn, it's a big sandwich.
Yeah. So like they would cut it in half, and then I'm sitting there eating one half. I remember one of my teammates looked at me. He had the nerve to do this. He asked me, "Do you have any extra food?" You see them both in my hand. I'm gonna eat them. These sandwiches are about to disappear. I didn't say this to him, but that's what's going on in my head. Like these sandwiches are about to disappear in about like 10 minutes. I don't know why you're asking me about it. I'm not gonna give you the other half. I'm not doing that. And that's another thing. Like they wouldn't be responsible. Some wrestlers wouldn't be responsible sometimes. Like they would just like not have food. And I'm like, even at other places, like they would just not have food, have to ask you for food and stuff. Like, gotta be responsible.
Yeah, my teammate Aldo does that all the time.
He just wouldn't bring
Yeah.
food.
He just never shuts up about it.
About what? Not having food?
No, he's like, he goes to a tournament, he just keeps asking everybody for like a piece of like whatever.
Does he have his own food? Like,
I don't know.
no, no one knows. Yeah, he wouldn't let you know that. Yeah. Wow, that yeah, you can't be doing that. Bring your own food. Don't be asking people. Have you ever heard of Brooklyn Tech? I think they were at Staten Island Duels. So one time we were at a tournament there. This was 2017 going into 2018. So the beginning of my senior year. And at the end of the tournament, or toward the end, it everything like around like when the placement matches happened, everything was $1. And we were sitting around Wagner, yeah, and one of the Wagner guys decided to go and raid the concession stand because they made everything $1. So I'm like, wow, a bunch of hot dogs and things like that. So yeah, we're not usually eating particularly healthy because I don't think hot dogs are necessarily healthy, but it's good that when they have food at tournaments and things. And yeah, like you said, I definitely did not like when teammates would bother me about having food.
Mm-hmm. Fun thing about the hot dogs at our city tournament for the D2 qualifier, one of our teammates after his bracket was over, it was like time for the finals. He went over to the concession stand, had like 4 hot dogs.
Nah, not 4.
I know, it was I didn't see him eat the hot dogs, but everyone was like, "Yeah, Mikey ate like 4 hot dogs," and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Wait, Mikey Cash?
No, not Mikey
Like
Cash.
that guy?
There's 3 Mikes on our team.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Michael LaMattina, who's very,
Yeah.
very young, he trains with you and trains with, I guess, Rocky as well, the lighter guys at Petrides. He says he practices with you guys every day. Talk about having a middle schooler. He's good. I've trained with him and stuff. He's good. But talk about having a middle schooler in the room with you guys.
Well, we've had like our middle schools before. Like in the off season, Ola has like a middle school wrestling program that like another teacher runs that like used to go to Tottenville that I wrestled. Like Ola is really there, like, you know, open the door because he doesn't have a key. So like I've wrestled in other middle schools before. Michael's probably like definitely the best one there because he's been wrestling for longer than those guys. Michael, he's pretty good. He has a lot of. I'm looking forward to when he joins in high school. The thing is, when he joins, I'm gonna be gone. So like I'll be an alumni when he's already a freshman.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
definitely can't wait for him to join. Just him cradling a bunch of kids and whatnot. He's a lot of fun to roll around with. Definitely.
Yeah, he is, yeah. And that cradle is something. And he's actually stronger than he looks. Like I wouldn't like the time when I was wrestling with him, it was at a Beat the Streets youth camp. I was a camp counselor. He was in my and he was 10 at the time, and we're going live. So this is 2021, and like obviously I'm being careful, but
Yeah.
even with that, he like I can still feel his strength. Like he's stronger than a 10-year-old should be, and now he's 12, so I can imagine he got stronger.
Every time I roll around with him, I always like. He's like 100 pounds, like 96, close to 100. But like before, like when he started doing base, because he does baseball as well. Like he's doing baseball now. So like before, when I was like, you know, still like 100 pounds at the time, like me and him were too far off in weight, so we and him would actually go live. I'd always like, you know, like best. I'd always like best him, but he'd always just get every time we'd roll around, he'd just get one lucky cradle in, and like his grip on the cradle is crazy. It's actually like insane. He has a really strong grip when that cradle locks in. It's like once that's locked, like you're stuck there.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. That's pretty much what it is. Uh, I hope he'll evolve his style because there's only one guy that can do one move and do great things, and that's Shorter Burrows. You know,
Mm,
and there's other aspects of him, just the way his body is and how fast he can move and all that. That's why he could go win Olympic gold medals with one move, win world titles with one. That's why he could do that. But everybody
yeah,
else,
you don't see cradles in the Olympics.
yeah, you don't. Well, freestyle is a little different, but in
Mm,
NCAAs though, you'll see plenty of cradles and things. But and it's good to have it. But I hope Mikey can evolve his style. I mean, the higher level guys, they're not just gonna fall for that, and they're probably just as strong, if not stronger, than however you think you are. So I hope that he can develop a real serious top game and develop different ways to get into the cradle, what to do if the cradle doesn't work. I hope he could start like I can do this, like get the cradle and pick somebody up with it. Hope he could do stuff
mm.
like that, like really just evolve his top game because he does have a good top game. But if he could really evolve it by the time he gets into high school, he should have no problem placing that stage right away.
He definitely will, because he's in like I think he's going to seventh grade right now. So like he still has like plenty of time to like work on other things on like the neutral to get to the cradle.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And working with him was real good. He was, well behaved. Obviously, he's actually really, really intelligent. Like he's very wise beyond his years. Like
Sure, sure, yeah,
I mean,
sure, yeah.
that,
I'll agree with you right now.
that's what I got. Like I remember we were talking before about like WWE and stuff, and he's a big fan of it
Yeah,
as
he is.
well as I am. I don't know if you still are, but
I stopped watching it like after when I got into high school because like I was
yeah,
more focused on like staying on top of grades and like wrestling and doing that. But like my little brother always watches it, so I always like get like the review on him.
right. Well,
So I have
that's
an idea
different.
of what's happening. I have like
Yeah.
a good idea of what's happening right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but different with me. I need to watch all the time.
Hmm
I can't stop watching it. And there's this thing called AEW that's there. I think you'll like
Yeah.
that. It's more geared to like older people, so you don't have to worry about seeing any hokey stuff on there.
Hmm.
And me and Mikey were like talking not about AEW, but we are talking about WWE and stuff, and the way he was talking and things like that. It's like I was talking to someone my age about it, and he knows things that he wasn't even alive for. We are talking about that stuff, so I'm like, wow, like he
Hmm.
really went down the rabbit hole and really learned a lot about it. And we would talk about wrestling and things like that and stuff. Just the way like what I got out of it, like the way he talks and all that, and the way he was behaving, the way he was acting and stuff, and how serious his approach was to learning technique and things like that. In my opinion, he really is like wise beyond his years. He's still like
Yeah,
still acts
he's
like
got
a
a lot of
kid here and there, but he's like a mature kid.
he's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, definitely does. He definitely does. And he's been training at SI BJJ MMA a little bit too.
Yeah, he does a lot of sports for like a kid his age.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good thing for the youth kids.
Hmm.
Yeah, wrestling, but also like just getting athletic, doing athletic things. So when you get older, that'll definitely help in those tough matches, just being very athletic.
Hmm.
So that's good that he has that, and he has a lot of heart too. Like he really,
Yeah.
he made the state finals with a torn hamstring.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know not yeah. He's probably not gonna brag about it, but it's on his Instagram. You'll see it. He tore his hamstring like I think 7 weeks before states in 2021, and he couldn't like practice at all. And then he, wrestled at states, and he wound up making the finals. He was limping toward the mat a bunch of times.
Wow.
Yeah. Now maybe it was a minor tear. That's probably why he was still able to compete. But at the time, a 10-year-old with a torn hamstring, that's
Yeah, that's a good story.
yeah. Like I know I wouldn't have been allowed to do anything if I tore anything.
Hmm.
But he was on the bike. Like there's pictures that he has it up on his page. Like he was on the bike, like rehabbing it on his own stuff. I mean, obviously he went to the doctor, but he was like,
Yeah.
doing everything he could to make sure that he could go compete, and he, he made the finals with a torn hamstring. That's if he could carry that over into high school where it really gets serious, where the accolades really start to matter. I think that he's gonna be one of these rare occasions that we get somebody that's a big deal from New York City.
He's definitely gonna be like one of those kids where you're like, oh yeah, that's good. This guy's gonna do really well.
Yeah, definitely. And him going to Petrides, that's great. Ola's a great coach, and it's a good system that you guys have over there.
Hmm.
And I like the way the room looks too. You get the view. So if it's raining, you can see it's raining a little bit out, like those small little windows.
Yeah.
If it's sunny, you can kind of see that. I love how hot the room gets. I like that.
Yeah, the room, like it's sometimes like when you first walk in, it's like a little chilly, but like as soon as you start rolling around, like it can get pretty warm in there.
Yeah, I remember in the summer 2019, I was going there and going to Tottenville for a while during the summer. They called it the Big Apple Games practices and all that. I don't know if you were in high school yet.
No, they're doing that this year. I'm gonna be going to the Tomville ones.
Okay, yeah. See, yeah. So I was doing that, and I remember one day. I think it might have been sunny when I got there, or maybe not. Maybe it was cloudy when I got there, but it was raining at the end.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you heard of David Correa, Josh Correa. You heard of them?
Yeah, Tomville.
Yeah, yeah. So they go outside and they
Uh,
take their shirts off,
okay.
and I'm looking at them like, but this is in the pouring rain. Get see where I'm going with this?
No,
You
not
see
at
what I'm
all.
going?
Oh, like it was mad hot in
Yeah,
the room. You're saying.
yeah. It was hot in the room, so they go outside and they think it's a bright idea to take their shirts off when it's raining. I'm like, you are going to get sick.
Like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, why would they do that?
Yeah, like you are going to get sick. I don't remember if they were sick or not. well, yeah, they weren't sick at practice. I don't remember what happened the day after. That was a long time ago, but they definitely somehow they didn't get sick. I just remember that they didn't get sick.
Miracle. That's a miracle.
Yeah, that definitely is.
I would have definitely had like a stuffy nose for sure.
Yeah, and also the thing was they were thinking, okay, we're getting driven home, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, on that rain for a minute with no shirt, you're gonna get you're gonna get sick. I don't care how hot it is, you're gonna get sick. I remember one time because the bus is in Staten Island. For people that don't live in Staten Island, they don't leave you. They're not like the rest of the city. They don't leave you exactly where you need to go sometimes. So I remember it. I took one of the buses and it left me by like, you know where that overpass is?
Yeah.
It's not far. Yeah, so it left me over there, and it was raining,
Oof.
and it was summer, so I had shorts and a t-shirt, and
That's rough.
my other stuff's in my bag, and I went on Google Maps. I tried to get under something so my phone didn't get wet. But I went on Google Maps, and I looked up like how long of a walk or whatever it would take for me to get to Petrides. And Staten Island, for those that don't live there or those that haven't been there, it's a lot of hills.
It
So
is.
yeah, and so I had to run like a mile to get to Petrides. So I'm running in the rain, shorts and a t-shirt. Some people would walk. I had to run because number one, I wasn't gonna be out in that rain for that. Like I had to, it was bad,
Yeah.
thunder and everything. I had my music on too, so I guess that helped. But yeah, it was bad. And then second of all, I just had to like get there. I wasn't gonna walk. It would take too long for me to walk, so I would have had to. I had to run. So
That happened to me last month.
really, wow.
Yeah. It was like we didn't have a practice at Petrides, but there was gonna be a practice at Tottenville. So and my phone was like I forgot how much, like it was probably on 20%. And it takes like from Petrides maybe 2 hours to get to Tottenville. Not like it takes a little while to get to Tottenville. So like I was charging my phone and it was a little early, so we didn't have to leave yet. Um and like the security kicked us out. So it was me and my friend Anthony. We had to walk from Petrides to like the 7-Eleven that's right by it. And as we're walking there, we got caught in the rain. I was so mad. I was like, yo, if we stayed at Petrides, I'd have charged my phone would have been fine to go, and we would have gone to Townsville all fine. I was so pissed at the security guards, bro. You have no idea.
Now this is recent, so like, how is the new room at Tottenville? I haven't asked anybody about like how it is in there yet.
It's pretty cool. It's really like it's a small like mat. It's a really small mat. Like you could have a good amount of people in there. It just seems like a little like too close together. And then like it's like half the room's a mat and then half the room's like a weight room. Like that's really
Oh,
what it
okay.
is. It looks pretty cool though. But like when I with the for the practice at Tonneville, like we don't practice in that room. It's like it's in the like the cafeteria that they have.
Oh, they still do that?
Yeah, it's like that's where the practices will be.
Oh, because there's not enough room in the room.
No, because like there's like 30 people there, and
Yeah,
the
so
room
yeah, there wouldn't be enough room
there
to
won't be
have.
enough room.
Oh wow. I remember have you ever heard of Elite Wrestling Academy in Brooklyn?
Mhm.
So I remember the last time I went there was about 30 of us, or 32 of us. I don't know why there were so many of us that day, but there was.
Is it a
And
small room?
it's not small, but they're like the sizes of us. There were more like bigger guys in there. So it
Yeah,
kind of like there weren't 30 of you in there. If there were 30 of you in there, we're fine. But there were
yeah.
30 of like grown people or grown sized people in there, guys and girls. So, and it's like, yeah, we had to do like more folk style stuff. No one was really throwing each other too much or anything because too many people. And I remember like we went live, but not like we didn't do too. It was like he had us go live for like time, so he would time like 3 minutes or something. Dimitri would, and we'd be doing top bottom or something like that.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, and it was fun. It was
Mhm.
it was intense and all that, but it was fun. I liked it. Like we just kept moving, kept working. We were all sweating. Everybody's heat's like grade eight off each other and stuff. There was like too many people in that room. I remember I bumped into a few people a few times because I like double X, so I'm running with doubles, and I bumped into a few people a couple times. It was hectic, but it was cool though. I enjoyed it. But it was like that room isn't small and the ceiling isn't low, but it like we packed it up somehow.
I know. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and Petrides, I like the way the room is. There's that little like, I guess I could call it like where the sometimes the mats would be like toward the end, where like the door is at.
Okay, yeah, like this match right by the door.
Yeah, I like how the design is kind of like that, and that dummy that's in there. I don't know if you still have it. Like I remember messing around with that before practice would start.
Mm-hmm. We still have
Well,
we have a couple dummies.
oh, you have a couple. Okay.
There's 2 dummies in the room.
Which one? I don't know how to differentiate them. The
Like, what kind of dummy are you talking about? Is it like a big
the
dummy?
yeah. Like if I stood the dummy up, it's like I could look at it in the face. Like
No, it's not the dummies we have now.
it's not dummy. Oh, okay.
The dummies we have now are they're like 50 pounds and they're like kind of short. Like if
Kind of
I
short.
was like me, basically, like a little shorter than me.
Oh, okay, yeah, you definitely got new dummies. Yeah.
Like they're pretty small dummies. But like we usually have a lot of people in the room, so we never really use the dummies.
Right.
And the
And that
dummies,
weight.
what?
Oh, talk about dummies. Talk about dummies. Yeah.
The dummies, they're pretty short. So like it's hard to like kind of work on it because you
Right.
want to try to stand it up and then do something, but like it falls over. Like it's really hard to work with.
Right. Yeah. That's true. I guess it's mostly for like throws and stuff.
Yeah, throws are easy on the dummy. That's what I usually use a dummy for.
Yeah. And then the weight room, man. That's like the best weight room I've been in because you got the view right there, and the
Mm,
campus actually looks really cool.
yeah,
The campus itself, and if it's on a sunny day, you could see it. If it's on a rainy day, you could see that. And just they got the machines, they got the weights.
mm.
Just it's all like I'm trying to like envision it right now, just being in there looking at that window. It's
It's like
like
it's a big campus. It's a really big
yeah,
campus. But like for high school, we don't use the whole campus.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, because like the middle
It's like
schoolers would be in one spot, the high schoolers would be
yeah,
another spot. Yeah,
like most of the high school classes, they're all on just one floor.
yeah, that makes sense.
So there's the top floor and like the basement, and then you go to like the other building for the gym and the cafeteria, and that's pretty much where your classes are at.
Right. And I go to CSI now, so what I was told, not I knew this before then, but what I was told is that Petrides was the old CSI campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I gotta say I kind of enjoy like I for a college student, the campus that CSI has had for I don't know how long, but that current campus, the one they've had for a while, yeah, that's more fitting for college students. I could say that. Like
Well,
CSI, like huh?
I think that the Petrides one would be small for like a college.
Small for college. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Very small. And CSI, I don't know if you know, but it's the only college in New York City that's actually has like a legit campus. Well, Columbia kind of does, and some other spots do, like some spots in the Bronx and things like that. But like,
Mm,
you really feel like you're upstate or on Long Island or somewhere else at CSI. You really, and it's the largest campus in New York City, actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you really, and I've been upstate and stuff like that. So I get that feel, when
Hmm.
I'm there. It's just like, it's like that, but you're gonna get New York people though. Like there's a lot of people from New York in that
Hmm.
because I've been other spots and there's a bunch of people from other places. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, well, before COVID, after COVID, things changed. But before COVID, when I would visit spots and things like that, or I'd hear from friends and stuff like that, there's a lot of people from different spot. Like there's not a lot of people that would be from those places, at least dormant there. But at
Um,
CSI, it seems like there's always been a large Staten Island population there. You know?
hmm.
It's a popular place to be. So yeah, that's just me talking about like, how the campuses look and stuff like that.
How long have you been going to CSI for?
Since last semester, this last spring. It took a sec for me to get used to like where the classes are and stuff like that. To try to figure out, all right, what class do I need to really get up early for? Because I have to like walk to the other side of campus. What class can I afford to like get there at the last second? Things like that. Usually never late or anything like that. But there's like good spots to eat at and things like that. So it's a cool spot. I wish they had wrestling, but
I
they
thought you
don't want
guys
it.
had a wrestling club.
Yeah, I tried. They don't want it. So what would have to happen is it would have to start as like an intramural thing way before it becomes an NCAA thing. And it depends on like how much success the program would have as an intramural sport and stuff. And then you could make it like try to get the athletic director to make it an NCAA sport, stuff like that. Yeah. And fundraising comes into play and all that stuff. But I talked to the intramural guy after I talked to the athletic director because he would be in control of that. And he said, don't even waste my time with it, yada, yada. He just didn't want it. Other people have tried. It's just that they don't want it, right? Apparently wrestling's a liability, but I can guarantee, yeah, because the amount of money you put into it, you're not going to get that much money back. It's not like basketball or we don't have football, but it's not like basketball or soccer, which they have. But I can guarantee that I will get, the gym to be packed with a lot of people inside, to watch wrestling. Because I see the baseball games, I see the basketball games and stuff. It's not a lot of people there. I guarantee I could get a bunch of people in that gym, paid in that gym to watch wrestling. I guarantee I can get a lot of people to join the team. I guarantee that can happen. They don't understand how big wrestling is just on the college level. They don't understand how big it is. It's not big overall. It's not. There's no pros or anything like that, but it's really big as far as like a scholastic sport. But they don't get that. They don't know that. They just don't want it. I guess they're just too lazy. That's really what that is. Because it would take a bunch. It would take work. Wrestling's definitely different than every other sport. So different model. Yeah, it's really unique. So it would take a lot on their end as well, and they're just too lazy to do that. Other people have tried to start programs in other spots and it didn't work. Some schools have lost programs over the years, Division I schools. So it's just a matter of people not caring enough about wrestling. So I think it's important that we like grow it.
Yeah.
It's really not all about money. It's more than that.
It's like it's like winning. It's about like putting the work to get the goal, which is to win.
Exactly, yeah. But that's like my 2 cents on why they don't want it. It's not because anything else they told me, they just don't want it. If they wanted it, we could try to make it work. They don't want it. So. But speaking of college, you're going into your junior year now, right?
You're
gonna be a pretty small junior.
Yeah, I know.
But like people gonna look at you and still think you're a freshman.
I still get that now. Most kids still think I'm in like a middle school.
Until you pick them up in the air or something like that.
Exactly.
But speaking of college, I guess junior year is when colleges start to look at people, start to recruit people and things like that. You're gonna get to states again. And look, there's plenty of D3 and D2 coaches, even D1, but there's plenty of coaches, college coaches that like a kid that got to states a bunch of times and things like that. Maybe you might not get a full ride, but you could get some money. You never know.
Yeah.
But and I'm pretty sure you know about how all of that works. I'm not even gonna get into that. You probably know enough about the college process and stuff.
Like, what do you mean by the college process?
Like how the recruiting goes, how to look for schools, what you want to look into, what you want to study, and things like that. Probably know enough about that.
Well, we haven't actually I haven't actually thought about it, like how the process would work.
We haven't thought about it. Well, all right. Well, I'm not going to go on a TED talk and like give you all that, but I'll just say, try to pick a major where you can really make money at it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, want to do something you can, that you enjoy doing, but make sure you could also make money at it right away. You don't want to graduate college and have to get some meaningless job for like a while and just hate where you're working, and you have to do that for a while before you can actually get your career started. Make sure you get a career started like immediately,
Mm-hmm.
just like right then and there, and pick a school that could really like help you with that, like setting up a career and things like that for after graduation stuff. So you can immediately get a real high salary job, get a bunch of money, do your own thing once you have a bunch of money. Something you never have to worry about.
What I was thinking about colleges was like I wanted to try to get some colleges that like have a wrestling team like already that started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like I know Ithaca, they have a really good wrestling team. They
Ethical
have
College. Yeah,
they have Isaiah going there.
yep.
They
And a
have
couple of
last year they took a couple guys from FDR.
say it again.
Last year they took a couple guys from FDR.
Took a guy. Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, and they're still there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody from Mod Haven went there, but he's my age, so he graduated already. I was at a tournament with him one time when I was in college wrestling. Uh, yeah, yeah. But I mean, look, if you go to states these next couple of years and like make the finals or win, or let's say you decide to go to Virginia Beach, you all American,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it might be that other college that's in Ithaca contact you. You never know.
There's definitely there's a lot of things I want to do next year. Like
Yeah,
I was thinking about Virginia Beach this year, but I didn't end up going. But like next year I definitely want to go.
yeah. Because you go there, let's say you're all American a couple times. If there's a school in Ithaca that's not too far from Ithaca College,
What?
Cornell.
It's not too wait, it's actually like close.
Yeah, they run there a bunch of times actually. Like for like their running workouts, they'll run there sometimes. They'll run
Wow,
to
that's
Cornell and back.
that close.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
that
know that.
close. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
when I
pretty cool.
interviewed Isaiah, he said that, yeah. So
Wow,
yeah, do real good. You might get like some D1 offers, and then you might not have to worry about paying for school at all.
that would be a relief.
That yeah, yeah, definitely would be. So so now to end this off, what are you looking forward to going into this next season?
Um, Next season I'm pretty excited for. Like we're gonna be traveling a lot more. Like there was a pro river tournament that we're gonna do next year that like I heard that some guys did this year. Um, definitely be a lot more like competition to do. You know, like my main goal is like obviously qualify for state again and like make it to another Mayor's Cup final. Maybe hopefully win the Mayor's Cup and like get on the podium for state. That's my like main goal going into the next season.
Yeah. Go out there and accomplish that. And you need to put the S at the end of the word states.
State, yeah, you're right.
States. It's not state. That argument. That's gonna be an endless argument. But yeah, so yeah, definitely looking forward to it, and I'll definitely come watch you guys a few times here and there.
Be cool. That'd be actually really sick.
Yeah, definitely come watch you guys. Yeah, it's always great watching wrestling. So hey, thanks for coming on, Brandon, and
No
good
problem.
luck
Thanks,
next season.
thanks.
Yeah.